Foster care and adoption is not easy because it starts with heartache and brokenness because the original family broke at some point. But if we're not willing to step into the brokenness and the hard things, how can we expect Christ to step into our hard things and our messiness?
Just look at you. Okay.
Anthony, his childhood was pretty rough. The day before his 10th birthday, there was a warrant serviced on his house. Anthony and his brothers and sisters were removed from the house for inappropriate care and drug usage in the house. Never saw the birthday cake, never saw his parents again.
They couldn't take care of us, they couldn't support, and we ended up getting taken away.
He hasn't seen his sisters in a long time. Anthony and his brothers bounced around from 4 different foster homes, and when he was 12 years old, there was a foster family that decided to adopt him. And shortly thereafter, he had hit some bumps at school.
Just getting in a lot of trouble. I ended up getting expelled in 8th grade, so I came to Chestnut Mountain Ranch to do school and to work on myself.
Anthony came in to tour the ranch and see everything.
All these years of being removed from his house after a police raid, to 4 different foster homes, to being adopted, and then he gets placed at the ranch shortly thereafter for some misbehavior at school.
My first reaction to the ranch was I did not want to be there. I thought it was stupid and dumb, and it wasn't gonna help, but it really changed my life.
Anthony did very, very well, worked very hard in the program, and made some significant changes with disrespect, defiance.
And I can remember one night at a youth rally in our town, Anthony got up and went forward, and we asked him about it later, and we said, at the altar call, and they said, "Do you understand?" He said, "I understand." And he said, "I want this. I want to serve the Lord all of my days."
I ended up just breaking down into tears, and I'm like, I just don't know. And he's like, just let him in, just let the Lord in. That was the night I got saved.
After Anthony got saved, he came to me one day and said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Absolutely." And he said, I want to get baptized. And I said, "That's great." And he said, "And I want you to do it." We got into water, and I had the honor and privilege of baptizing Anthony that day. That's our goal with these children. I mean, we can get their grades up and we can stop your behavior, but for them to understand what Christ did for them on the cross, and for them to embrace that and say, I want to be a child of God, I know who my real daddy is, that's everything. We do a big graduation in 12-stone fashion. We give them a sword, we give them a Bible, and it's something tangible that these boys can hang on their bedroom wall and remember, I did it. I finished the race. It's not always going to be easy, but I've got this sword and I've got this scripture for me to fall back on. It was one Sunday afternoon, we heard gravel in the driveway, and we went outside, and it was Anthony and his mother, and he was in the car crying, and his mother explained to us that she was done. She didn't want to be a parent anymore, and that she was planning on turning him back over to the state.
We said, no, don't do that. Bring him to our home, because the ranch was full with ranch boys, and he really wasn't needing to go back into the program. He had done very well there.
We said, let's this thing calm down. We're going to keep him for a couple weeks. It was a tearful couple weeks. We called her back, and she said, you guys can have him. I'm done. My wife and I looked at each other, and here's a kid who's 16 years old, and he just could never land somewhere where somebody says, your home, and we're always going to be your family, and you're going to be able to carry our last name. So that the choice is yours. And I remember he looked at me, he goes, I want to have a family. The tears were flowing. He said, I just want to have a family.
And we said, we want you to be in our family. And so we started towards adoption with him.
I think back on it, I had the opportunity to baptize this young man before I even knew he was going to be my son.
It blessed our whole family and stretched us in ways that if Anthony hadn't been there, we wouldn't have grown and we wouldn't have been stretched. We've all learned from it and grown from it. There's still a whole journey ahead.